Well, my name is Kim Swisher, and I'm the Deputy Director at the Office of Children's Services. And I've worked with the agency for many years, off and on. I came to the Office of Children's Services as an intern in my master's program, and I fell in love with the work that we do with families. And so I have continued my career in some form of child welfare ever since. And now I get to shape the way in which our agency works to serve families and support its employees. I really love thinking about how to support families and ensure that children are safe in our community. And so the things that inspire me is when I hear about a family receiving the right kind of support that it needed to be able to stay together, to ensure that they can meet the needs of their children on their own. Those are the stories that really make me excited and happy for the work that our agency is doing. The work of child welfare is complicated, and we hear a lot of stories of tragedy and trauma. And I think it's important that people who are coming to work here know is that those are not the only stories. There are stories of resilience and strength and growth and opportunity. And our families kind of run the gamut of all of those different things. And so what inspires me is that it's exciting to work here, and it changes every single day. I learn something new every single day, even after all these years working in child welfare. And for me, that's the best thing in the whole wide world. I love watching the growth in the families that we are serving, and I love watching the growth inside our employees as they find their way in this field, because there's an opportunity for everyone here. We have a variety of different places that people can serve. It all doesn't have to look the same, and it all doesn't have to be just casework. There are lots of ways that we can help support families in Alaska, and I can't think of a better place to do that than the Office of Children's Services. You know, OCS is a wonderful place to work. We have a great team across the state in a variety of different offices. We've got 22 offices across the state of Alaska. And so the thing that makes OCS wonderful is that you have a lot of people working with you towards the same mission of strong families and safe children. And so you're not alone in this work. One of the things that I remember about an early social service job that I had prior to working in child welfare is I felt very alone. I didn't feel like I was a part of a bigger team working towards something great. And I've always felt that way working at the Office of Children's Services, is that I'm one piece of a large team that does really, really good work with families and with children. And so I love the magic of that teamwork. I can't think of a better group of people to work with serving families that are in crisis. The other thing I think that OCS brings to the table is the opportunity to grow. There is career advancement available at the Office of Children's Services. You learn new skills, you learn new things about yourself, and you get really wonderful training and education to be able to really grow as a professional. And so OCS is a place where not only families and children grow, but our employees get the chance to do that too. If you want to work at the Office of Children's Services, I would say that it would be good to come with some organization. There are a lot of different aspects to the work, and so if you have a way to stay organized, you will be successful here. You need to be able to adapt to change. Families are changing, children are changing, and so having the ability to adapt to things as they come up will help make you successful. I hear a lot that it's important to have a good sense of humor and not to take yourself too seriously, and I agree with that. Here at our agency, we're faced with a lot of different things that can be pretty challenging, and if you're able to kind of laugh at yourself or laugh at the absurdity of not being able to get, all of the little check marks on your to-do list done, then you're going to be able to survive here. But more than that, you're going to be able to thrive. So being organized, being flexible, being able to adapt. And then I think the last thing that you need to be successful here is you need to believe that people can change. And you need to believe that everything that you do actually does matter. And even if you don't get to see the fruits of your labor today, somewhere down the road, you're going to hear about that family that you worked with, and you're going to know, oh, I was a part of that. And that feels really, really good. So if you can believe that people can change, you'll do well here. When I was a caseworker in Anchorage in investigations, I worked with a dad and a young girl who were struggling. He had lost his job and he was really trying to keep his daughter, but he was in danger of losing his housing. His daughter's mother had a pretty severe substance use disorder and wasn't able to be a help for him. And so part of the reason that he had lost his job is because he didn't have daycare for his child. And so I was able to connect him with some emergency daycare. I was able to connect him with the job services program. And I was also able to help her get enrolled into a summer school program that she qualified for that he didn't know was available to him. And that father and that daughter stayed together. That was an investigation that ended up not resulting in any legal intervention. So the Office of Children's Services does have a training program that's really unique. We have classroom training, we have on-the-job training, and we have mentoring. That is an intensive transfer of learning process that happens in the first 6 months on the job. I can't think of many other social service agencies that invest so deeply in that first 6 months to a year on the job to ensure that our employees are successful. We have flexible work schedules. We have a variety of different ways in which you can serve families. So if you start out in one position and you realize that that's not the best fit for you, there are lateral transfer jobs, there are different places that you can move and still be a part of the mission of our organization, even if it's not in the position you started in. So we have flexibility, opportunity for growth, opportunity for promotion. And we also have a lot of different ways in which staff are a part of changes in our system. We have a staff advisory board, supervisor leadership council. We listen to the voices of our staff to try to inform the way in which we work with our staff and to improve the system to better serve families. So there are a lot of different opportunities at the Office of Children's Services to be able to be involved not only in the life of a family, but in improving a system that's so vital to serving Alaskan families. So the culture at the Office of Children's Services, in my opinion, is a very supportive one. We know that the challenging work can take a toll on our emotional state. So we do hear a lot of traumatic stories. We are working with families that are in extreme crisis, and that can be very taxing and very stressful. But the culture of the organization acknowledges that very openly, that that's a part of the work. And the piece or the flip side to that that's most important is finding the ability to support our employees through that. And so our supportive culture at the Office of Children's Services doesn't shy away from the truth of what we do. We talk about it. We offer support to our employees. We have crisis debriefing sessions. We have a wellness and resiliency officer. We have individual supervision, group supervision. We have the opportunity to have a voice in your workplace. We have a generous leave package with the state of Alaska, so the benefits here are wonderful and allow you the flexibility to be able to take care of not only yourself and your own family, but also meet the demands of the job. And so I find it to be a very work-life balance type environment to work in. There'll be times that you do a lot of overtime, and then there'll be times where you're able to take your time off and really disconnect from the work so that you can recharge your own batteries. So it's a supportive work environment. I also think that our culture here is focused on growth and development. We really believe in investing in our employees to be able to grow professionally. We provide a lot of opportunities for people to go to training. We provide opportunities for people to step into leadership, to give it a try, to see if that's something that they want to do to promote up within the agency. And so we're a place where people can come, learn, grow, and thrive. I don't know if I would describe it as a superpower, but I guess I have an innate belief that people can change. And I really believe in the power of giving back. And so when I think about the families that we work with, I really come from a place of believing that they can do anything if given the opportunity to be able to have the right kind of support, to have someone listen to them, have someone validate the experience that they're having, to have someone believe in them, maybe even for the first time in their life. I know that great things happen when a person feels heard, when they feel seen, and when they feel like someone's in their corner. Our agency isn't often described as that person who's in the corner for families, but if you ask any caseworker that works here, you'll find that that's exactly what we do. We're in the corner with them, cheering them on, watching their victories, helping them across that last mile to keep their family together or to get their family back. And so I think my superpower is believing that people can change. And the other superpower, I guess I would say I have, is that I think I'm a mirror for people to be able to see their own strengths. I like to be able to help people see that innately inside of them, they have the thing that they needed all along to do the thing that they wanted to achieve. And so whether that be with a family, with an employee, with one of my coworkers, being a mirror to kind of validate and help a person see the strengths they didn't know that they had is something that I bring to the table. I love so many things about my role at OCS. I love being able to be a part of an agency that makes a huge difference in people's lives. I love knowing that the work we do helps protect children when they need protection. I love knowing that at the end of the day, the people who work at this organization in their heart want to do right by families and children. And I love that I get to shape the culture of our organization by finding ways to make this a good place to work, and also supporting people in their own professional growth and their journey here. I had people do that for me when I first started at OCS, and so I'm deeply committed to doing that for the new people coming into our organization. And so I love being a part of all of that. I can't think of a better place to make a difference. The Office of Children's Services is looking for people who come to the table with competencies in how to serve children and families. And so while you don't need a specific education, you'll find that a lot of people who work here have degrees in social work, psychology, sociology, and human services. However, we have a lot of folks that work with us that just come to the job because they've worked with children, they've worked with families, they have case management experience, or they've worked for their tribe or been a part of some type of community support serving others. So if you have the competencies that we're looking for, you can read more about those in our job description, our job postings, but really we want you to come to the table with the competencies and being able to sit with a family, listen to a mom, listen to a dad, understand where a kid is at school or what kind of education needs they have. So you don't have to have a specific degree to work here, but you do have to have a heart for the work. And that really entails knowing that the families we work with are in crisis. And if you can come with patience, kindness, a belief that people can change, then this is the place for you.